Welcome to the behind the seats tour, and we're inside the greenhouse of living with the land. There's the ride. Let's check out and have fun. This is an awesome tour. It costs about 35, 40 bucks. I forget the full price, but this is awesome. Let's check it out from the beginning. Dude, we're on the ride. Look at this Brussels sprouts. I know, there's the boats right there. I mean, technically all the plant ones are stem cells.
Alright, this is our first greenhouse. We have 4 greenhouses to see, and they each have a name. This one is called the creative greenhouse. When you look around, it's pretty easily to see why. There's many creative growing techniques showcased in this one greenhouse. Out of all 4 greenhouses, there is 0 soil. This is a completely soil-free facility. Pop quiz time. What do plants get from soil typically?
Nutrients?
Nutrients, right? So here, the plants are still eating nutrients, but they're receiving those nutrients in a little bit of a different way. You know how it works? Yeah, go ahead. Ooh, let's talk about that. Why is there fish? So, does anyone know how the plants here are receiving their nutrients? It's all through water. So this is all called hydroponics. Hydroponics, when you break that big word down, it means working with water. So in this case, the nutrients have been added to the water first, and then the water is given to the plants. Across the way is a unique way of doing that. Those fish over there, that whole thing is called aquaponics. It's a combination of aquaculture and hydroponics. The fish at the bottom there, those are tilapia. They produce waste, just like all of us, right? And that actually contains nutrients that the plants can use to grow. So, the fish actually, the fish feeds the plants. And then the plants help the fish out by taking that out of the water. If it's left in the water, those nitrates can actually be harmful for the fish. So that's kind of a symbiotic relationship right over there. The plants on this side, they do not have fish friends feeding them, but they're still receiving nutrients. If you'd like to see that in action a little bit, feel free to peek on inside this box over here. This is called aeroponics. The roots in there is really hanging out open in the air. And there's misters. Those misters are all they want. On that box. I like to point them out. If you can't see them now, you'll see them when you come on by. Just because they're throughout all the greenhouses. Look for those that'll tell you the specific variety of plant you're seeing, but also the date when it was seeded. Consider that the plant's birthday. It's 1, fun to see if you can find one with your same birthday. So cool. 2, also cool to see how long they've been in here to see how much they've grown in a short amount of time.
Are all these plants get the same nutrients?
Yes, all the same. And we're going to see it in just a moment. Good question.
Stanley.
Where do we get this plant? This one you can find online. I'm not sure where we got it specifically, but if you look up sensitive plant,
Sensitive.
it is invasive in a lot of places, so maybe look. Ta-da! All of those leaves will close up. So this looks like I just hurt Stanley. I promise you I did not. He shows off to every tour all day long. Takes only about 5 to 10 minutes and those leaves will open up again. He doesn't need to worry about rain here. He has water and nutrients coming in right there. Alright, we actually walked past Stanley on the way out, so you'll get to say goodbye and he'll prove to you that he's not harmed. But for now, let's keep going this way. Alright, sometimes there are leftovers after the harvest. Anything left over will be offered to Animal Kingdom to feed the animal friends. So whatever they can send over to the animal nutrition team.
Look, we didn't get trespassed.
Everything else is... Alright, and then when you're done, if you notice, this trash can looks a little bit different. There's a specific spot for toothpicks and the recipe of your life.
It's like seeing Colonel Sanders.
Cater solutions to each individual type of plant. By doing so, they can yield the biggest production at the end. Here, we use only one solution that they have found works great for all of our plants and works great for what we're doing. Like I said, we're a little bit different. Our harvest is kind of just a bonus. There's nowhere relying on us. We're not relying on it. So they found one solution that works great for what we're doing here.
Allison said these are mustard greens. And these ones are the cilantro microgreens.
Once it reaches the top of the trellis, those spools are then moved. So every couple of days, they will shift down, changing all of them. If you look closely, there's a red Velcro on both sides here. That is the one that started at the front position. So eventually, throughout the year, those spools will make its way around all the way, all around the racetrack multiple times. They will wrap the plants around a few times throughout the year. As they do that, they prune all of the lower leaves, which is great for pests.
That's so cool.
Something magical happens. All the ripe and ready tomatoes end up right at the bottom. So when they harvest them, all they do is sit on a little tray with wheels, wheel back and forth, harvest them easy peasy right down to the bottom.
Oh my gosh.
But wait, there's more tomatoes.
It's incredible.
This is what they call a tomato tree, because they have it all up on this trellis system on the top.
This is called nutrient field technique. And they harvest an entire section every week. Typically Tuesday morning, so yesterday, they'll harvest the whole section, clean the whole thing out, restart a whole new batch that same morning. They have it so well timed that they can harvest over 500 heads every week. Right now, Tipton's restaurant over at Animal Kingdom has a lamb salad on the menu. I believe that's where the majority of this lettuce is going.
This is where the cucumbers normally are. There are some cucumbers over in that corner, but over here, there's a little mold. And yeah, this mold would make it turn into like a little hidden Mickey look. Isn't that awesome?
Heard of one of those. This wall behind you is actually a thick cardboard with water running down it. And then across the way are fans. Those fans are actually blowing away from us. Behind this wall is a door that opens up to the outside. And those fans are pulling outside air in through that thick cardboard, cooling it using evaporative cooling. And this can be changed and adjusted depending on the outside temperature. So on a cold day, close that door. It's like a little hinge. Turn off the fans. You can even close the doors behind the fans. Keep it nice and warm in here. On a hot day, open it, blast the fans, pull it down in here. So depending on the outside temperature, they can adjust it a little bit. There are also heaters in here that will kick on automatically if it does get too cold, although very rarely. It is typically warm here. I came into work one day and I heard a weird noise that I'd never heard before. Turns out it was the heater. I never heard it before. It happens so rarely. In this greenhouse, like I said, there's sand. There is no tricks here. There is no soil. It is all just sand for these plants. And the reason why we grow in sand is to use this as an example of how hydroponics, you can grow just about anything anywhere. This is all still hydroponics, and it's all working through drip irrigation. So there's drip irrigation lining this greenhouse. You can see many things are planted in rows. Buried about 6 inches to a foot beneath the sand is that drip irrigation. When they're planting something new, they will plant it right underneath those lines, and that'll send water and nutrients straight to the roots of the plant. The sand closest to us here is the deepest point. It's about 5 feet deep, and then it's shallower as it goes towards the boat. Yeah, who would have thought, right? 5 feet right here. At the very, very bottom of the sand in this entire greenhouse is a permeable tarp that will allow any excess water to drain. And then under that tarp, if you were to remove it, is actually Mother Earth. So technically, if you were to dig down, remove the tarp, you would hit dirt, but the plants are not in that at all. It's just allowing that excess water to drain. Any questions about what you see in here? We have a lot of staple crops, staple grains in here. They just planted some brand new corn, which is the #1 food crop. We have coffee, cotton, sorghum, quinoa, agave, some pretty big crops right in this greenhouse. And then if you look closely, over here you'll see some really pretty yellow, orange peppers. Do you want to know what those are?
Up in here.
Not quite.
Carolina Reapers.
Carolina Reapers. That's your next taste test. You ready for it? No?
plum, olive, miracle fruit, which I've heard if you eat this fruit, it makes other things taste different. Like things that are sour taste very sweet. Yeah, miracle fruit. Nope. So this is the end of the tour. You end up right here in kind of an array of different plants. There's cardamom, there's a vanilla plant over there in the center, but that giant section over there, that's that hidden Mickey. And there's a pepper plant. And it's one of the oldest plants that are in here is that hidden Mickey pepper plant. We also have vanilla, there's a miracle fruit, which I believe there's miracle fruit over here as well on this left-hand side. It's this bush right there. Highly, highly recommend the tour. It was incredible.
When we mention farming,
so here's the aquaculture, and these fish, 30 of these fish go to the restaurants around Walt Disney World every single week, which is crazy to me. Every single week. I mean, they're huge though. We also this is where we are feeding the fish, so they gave us little pellets of food and we could feed the bass. Splashed up everywhere. So the fun fact about the shrimp that we learned, and you will notice that there's hidden Mickeys, hidden flowers, but a lot of times you'll only see one fish in these tanks, and that's because they get a lot larger than this. So much so they're like bigger than my hand would be or your hand would be, and they're cannibalistic, so they'll end up eating the other shrimp in the tank. So a lot of times there's only one, but they get huge. They're like mini lobsters, is the best way to put it. All right, this is where the best hidden Mickey I've ever seen, and now it stands, but it's all the way
while there are more than 50,000 edible plant species in the world,
is a sand hidden Mickey gardener, and I will never forget that. It's right there. I can still see it. You can't tell, but we know it exists.
Maize, sorghum, and milk, plus rice.
Also, you notice that there's this like snapping sound or big popping sound. That big popping sound are these solenoids, and the solenoids, what they do is distribute nutrients throughout the water sources. So it's like kind of like mixing a multivitamin up for the plants. This is a non-soil facility. They just use medium, and there's a lot of different pellite. There's non-expanded pellite. There was just a lot of different types of substrates that they grow in, but no soil here whatsoever.
Innovative growing.
Such a cute little hidden Mickey in the sands. Yeah, but they definitely stamped that hidden Mickey on there.
Yeah, it's a square rectangle.
It looks so cool. And then we found out that the reason why this lettuce spins is to look cool. there's no actual reason. Yeah, these are only 2 tomato plants, which is unbelievable. Giant tomato tree that's over there. And we found out that this Velcro on this rope actually will help prune the lower leaves and actually make it easier for them to collect the tomatoes. Do you see how like the tomatoes are getting lowered? So they just come over here and grab the tomatoes. They do mustard and cilantro were some of the microgreens. We also found out that these are mini greens. Sadly, we didn't see any Mickey greens. We did get to eat some cucumbers. They were from this field right here. Very snappy, crisp, and delicious. We also saw a mold, a Mickey cucumber mold, and we ate the cucumbers right back there. There's also a hidden Mickey in this aquarium box. There's like a little hydroponic box back there. And then the coolest thing that I will never forget is Stanley. Stanley is this plant all the way in the back. He actually will move with your touch. Look at this little figment. It's like they look like 3D printed little figments. But yeah, Stanley's all the way in the back. We'll always be able to see Stanley.
The aquaponics system.
Yeah, so Stanley will actually react. Oh yeah, the roots get sprayed with mist, so no soil on these. They call the air something.
And the plants help keep the water clean for the fish.
The thing people are always going to ask you after doing a tour, was it worth it? Yes, behind the scenes is 100% worth it. One, it's not just like a boring tour that you stand around and you're inactive with. No, in fact, you take a very active presence here, and if you love the Living with the Land ride itself, you get a behind the scenes view of the attraction. Plus you get to eat some sort of vegetable. In this case, it happened to be cucumber. You get to touch a plant that touches you back, which I've never, that's amazing. But besides like a Venus flytrap, I don't really know too many plants that react like that. It was really cool. And then you also get some just absolutely amazing pictures, and then you get to feed fish. So totally worth it. It'll take 1 hour out of your day, but if you love that attraction, it's a whole new way to enjoy that experience. So please do it. It's awesome. My name is Kurt from walruscarp.com, your spot for the latest hacks, snacks, and fun facts. With me as always, Kate, the Disney Cicerone. Kate, hi, how?
Hello.
How do we get books?
How do you get what?
How do you get a book?
Oh, Amazon. A glimpse of the magic. Finding ourselves in the Disney story.
Yay, go buy it. See you, peace, we're out of here.